All right, guys, welcome to your first unit, which is math and measurement. The first lesson we're going to talk about is metric conversions. All right, let's start by talking about what is chemistry. Chemistry is the study of matter and the changes it undergoes. Well, you might be thinking to yourself, what is matter? Matter, by definition, is anything that has mass and takes up space. So solids, liquids, and gases are the three basic fundamental states of matter. Matter can be described as two different kinds of measurements. One measurement is qualitative. A qualitative measurement is a measurement that is a descriptive. Doesn't have any numbers associated with it. Quantitative, on the other hand, has numbers or units that are associated with it. So think about this. When we look at quantitative, you look and you think quantity. That has to deal with numbers and units. When you're looking at quantitative measurements, we use what we call the metric system or the SI system, and it's a system of measurement that is used in science in most countries around the world. What you may not be aware of is that the United States is the only country that does not use the metric system to measure all of their materials. We use or are accustomed to using feet and inches and pounds when everybody else around the world uses the metric system. So we're going to refer to your reference packet in Table D, and that's where the base units of measurements are found. And that table looks like this. So for meter, we have, that's our unit for length. Grams is our unit for mass, so on and so forth. These are all of the base units that we use to measure different things and different quantities that we're familiar with. With these base units comes prefixes. Now, prefixes are used to modify the base units, and you can find all the prefixes that you're going to need in Table C. So, for example, if you put kilo in front of gram, that changes gram to make it a kilogram, and that means something different. So how do you convert units using Table C? Well, there's two basic steps. First is find the difference between the exponents of the two prefixes in Table C. So what's your difference between the exponents? You're just going to do a simple subtraction there. Second, move the decimal that many places. So if your difference is 2, then wherever your decimal place is in your number, you're going to move your decimal place just that 2 places. So your question you might be thinking is, well, which way? Do I move it to the left or to the right? Well, when you're moving your decimal, you have to think about it this way. You need to move it to the left when you're going from a smaller prefix to a larger prefix. So that means that if your number was 52.010 and you're going to a larger prefix, you're going to have to move your decimal to the left. When you are moving your decimal to the right, when you're going from a larger prefix to a smaller prefix, so that's when you're going the other way. So you would move this decimal place however many places you need it to the right. So where are the base units on this chart? Well, the base units on this chart are going to be in between kilo and deci. And that is where your grams, your meters, your liters, all of those units without a prefix are going to be found. So let's look at a couple examples so that you can get familiar with this. This is a big concept and we're going to be doing this a lot. So let's look at example 1. So I want to convert 5.2 centimeters to millimeters. Well, remember what our steps are. The first step is to determine what the difference between the two variables is. Well, we're going from centi, which is right here, so that's -2, to milli, which is right here, which is -3. The difference between these two is a 1. So since you are moving from a larger prefixes are up on the top of our chart, smaller prefixes are down at the bottom. So you're going from centi to milli. You're going from a larger to smaller, so you're going to move your decimal place to the right. And when you do this, you'll end up with 52 millimeters. So let's look at a practice problem. I want you to try this on your own and then unpause the video when you're ready to see the answer. Great, well, welcome back. I want you to convert 20 centimeters to meters. First thing you need to do is figure out what's the difference between the two. So you're going from centi to meter. So you're going from centi up to our base unit. So that's 1, 2 jumps. You're going from -2 to 0. So the difference is 2. So we know we're going to be moving our decimal place 2 spots. We just have to figure out which direction. And since we are going from a smaller prefix to a larger prefix, we are going to move our decimal place to the left. So in this number, it's not there, but it is. Our decimal place is at the end of this 0. So we're going to move our decimal place 2 places to the left. So that's 1, 2, and when you do that, you end up with 0.20 meters. Let's try this practice. Try it on your own. Unpause when you're ready to go over the answer. All right, let's see what you came up with. Okay, you started off with 0.0032 liters. Okay, and to that, you should have noticed that liter is a base unit and milliliters is a prefix with a base unit. So you know that you're starting up here with their base units with his liters, and then you are going down to 3. So the difference between your two factors is 0 and -3. So that's a 3. So you know you're moving your decimal point 3 places. Now you just have to figure out which direction. Since you're going from a larger unit, one that's higher on your list, to a smaller unit, one that's lower on your list, you're going to have to move your decimal point 3 places to the right. And when you do that, you get 3.2 milliliters. Let's look at practice number 3. Okay, convert 45 micrometers to how many nanometers? Okay, so try this on your own, then unpause the video when you're ready. Okay, let's see what you came up with. All right, well, you're going from micro to nano. So you're going from a -6 to a -9, which is a difference of 3. All right, so you're going to have to move your decimal point 3 places to the right because you're going from a larger prefix to a smaller prefix. And when you do that, you get 45,000. Now I want you to try this one on your own. We're going to start tomorrow's class off by going over these, but remember, you will not get credit for your homework if you do not try this check your understanding and this check your understanding. See you tomorrow.